Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I am finally getting around to posting my 2 looks 1 palette video with the new I Heart Revolution Disney Aladdin palette. So if you didn't see, I did do a first impressions video using this palette. So here are all of the shades. So I will be sure to link that down below if you want to go check it out as well. But today I'm going to be doing 2 looks with this palette, and I'm super excited because this is such a versatile palette and I have so many ideas for looks using this, and I just wanted to do a couple of them today for you all. So we can just get started with the first look. So the first shade I want to take is 3 Wishes, and this is the pretty matte yellow shade in the palette, and I'm just taking this on a Wet n Wild fluffy brush, and I'm going to start working this into the inner portion of my crease and just working on blending this through just the inner half of the crease. And when I have less product, I'll go a little bit farther, but I don't want to get too much into the outer portion quite yet. And this shade is looking quite pigmented. This is only my second dip into the pan, and there's already quite a bit of pigmentation, which I am really happy about. Sometimes the lighter matte shades in these palettes can not show up as well, so it's really nice to see that this one is. And for those of you who don't know, this palette is part of a collection that I Heart Revolution has been doing. They've come out with 5 Disney princess palettes now. They have Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, Princess and the Frog, Little Mermaid, and now Aladdin. And I do have all 5 of the palettes and videos with all 5, so I will be sure to link that playlist down below as well if you want to go check that out. So once we have that shade all blended in the crease, I'm going to take some of Magic Carpet, and this is a nice little matte purple shade, and I'm taking this just on a smaller little fluffy brush, and I'm going to start working this in the outer portion of the crease. So I'm going to just start with little packing motions and not really blending it with the yellow quite yet, because I want to be very careful when blending these 2 shades together so it doesn't get muddied looking. So I'm just going to work on slowly building the shade up. And once we get closer to the crease, I'm just going to start little motions back and forth to start working these 2 shades together. And I also have less product on my brush at this point too. And I want the shade to be pretty pigmented in the outer portion of the crease. And this one does seem to be taking a little bit more building, but I think it's starting to get there. So once we have that shade starting to lay down, I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of the yellow shade and just brush over where these 2 meet, just to get even more of a nice transition there. Next, I'm going to take Gazim right here, and this is just on a super fluffy brush, and I'm just going to use this to blend out the very tops of the crease, just so it's not super harsh or anything. But I'm not bringing the shade too low because I just want to blend out the very, very top of the crease. The next shade I'm going to take is this one right here, and it is Agrabah. And I'm just going to take this right on my finger. The shade looks so pretty. And I'm going to start packing this in the outer portion of the lid, just kind of following the crease transition So I'm only going halfway across the lid with this shade. Then for the inner half of the lid, I'm going to take this beautiful gold shade right here called Magic Lamp. And this is just going to go, like I said, right on the inner half of the lid. Like so. And I will just tap over where these two shades meet to blend them together. And just get a nice little transition from yellow to purple. Alright, and then on the lower lash line, I just want to repeat the same steps. So I'm taking Magic Carpet right along the outer half of the lower lash line. And then I will take 3 wishes on the inner portion. Just for a nice little complementary color look today. Like so. And I'm also going to take a little bit more of Gazim and just blend these shades out. Then the final shade I want to take is Aladdin, and this is just a nice little pearlescent white shade, and I'm just going to pop this right in my inner corner to brighten like I do with all of my looks. And the shade is so pretty, just for a nice little inner corner highlight. Also, I'm just going to take a little tap of this on the brow bone as well. And that will complete this look. I'm going to go add some mascara and I will be right back. Alright, so here is the completed look number 1. And for this look, I used my Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extension Mascara. Of course, my favorite mascara. Overall, I am pretty happy with how this look turned out. I will say that Magic Carpet shade that I used for like the outer corner area, the matte purple, looks a lot lighter on the eye than it does in the pan. And it's really the only shade that I had a little bit of trouble with. It just didn't build up as well as I would have liked it to, and kind of blended away a little bit if I wasn't too careful. I think the final look turned out good, but I did just want to point out that that shade was a little bit trickier to work with and is definitely not as deep as it looks in the pan. But overall, I'm quite happy with how this look turned out. I love a little yellow purple eye look moment, so this one was a lot of fun to create, and I'm super excited to continue to use this palette. So with all of that said, we can get into look number 2. Alright, for look number 2, we are going to start with the shade Raja right here. And I'm taking this on a bit of a fluffier brush, and this is just going to start going right through my crease. And I'm just going to work on slightly building this up. I didn't take too much product to start, because I just want to slowly start building the shade up through the crease and just getting it to that desired pigmentation. So just start by laying down a nice wash of color, blending upwards, and then building up the color as well. Alright, the next shade I want to take is Razul right here. And I'm starting with this on a little pencil brush. And I want to just be really precise with where I'm putting the shade, as it is a darker black shade. So I'm just going to start by packing it into the outer corner and then a little bit up into the crease as well. And don't worry about the blending of it right now. This is just to lay down right where we want the color. And bringing it a little bit along the upper lash line as well, kind of creating a little C shape in the outer corner. And then I'm going to take this same shade on a fluffier brush. This is the e.l.f. blending brush. And I'm tapping off some of the product. And then I'm just going to work on blending the upper edges of the shade into the red a little bit. And I'm just starting with super slow motions. I don't want the shade to get muddied, so I'm trying to be very careful with the blending of it. Then I'm going to go back in with a little bit of Raja just to help blend it out. The next shade I want to take is Abu, and this is just a nice shimmery red shade, and I'm just taking this right on my finger and right in the outer portion, kind of in the center of the lid, so where I'm going to be packing this shade. I don't want this to go over the black too much, I just want it to blend together. And I'm bringing whatever is left towards the inner portion of the lid. Then I'm just going to go back in with the black shade and just make sure the edges are nice and soft between the two shades. Alright, the next shade I want to take is True Magic. And this is just on a little e.l.f. concealer brush. And I'm only taking a little bit of this shade and just popping it right into the very inner portion of the lid, just to create a little bit of an ombre red to orangey look. I'm going to go back and forth between that shade and Abu just to get the desired look there. Alright, next I'm going to take a little touch of the black shade and just run this tight to the lower lash line. Like so. And then I'm going to take Aladdin, and this is just on a e.l.f. small smudge brush, and this is going to go right in my inner corner. And I want this to be pretty precise right in the inner corner. I don't want to drag it out too much. but just a little bit of highlight there. And that will do it for this look. I will go add some mascara and be right back. Alright, so here is the final look. I am pretty happy with how this one turned out. Black shades are always pretty hard to blend out and make work with other shades in looks, but I think this one did pretty good. I feel like I could have spent a little more time working on blending it out, but overall I am pretty happy with the performance of it. Let me know which of these two looks you liked better, this one or the first one. I think I'm leaning towards the first one still just because I like that color combo better, but I wanted to do kind of a more everyday smoky look for this second one, and I think it turned out really pretty. I definitely am very excited to have this palette in my collection and continue to test it out and use it. I am loving it more and more each time I do. Let me know what you think of this palette, if you picked anything up from this collection, and which of the Disney Princess palettes from I Heart Revolution is your current favorite. I honestly would have to say that this Aladdin one is currently my favorite out of the 5. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. And with that, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!